A bold comparison just set the sports world on fire, linking one of today's brightest stars to one of the greatest athletes of all time. But here's the twist: some insiders are saying he's even more impressive. From dominating on multiple fronts to redefining what's possible in the modern game, his impact goes beyond numbers. It's about changing the way fans, players, and even rivals think about greatness. What makes this comparison so striking? And is it fair to say he's surpassing a legend's legacy? This isn't just hype, it's a conversation that could reshape how we view excellence in sports forever. Stay tuned, because this debate is just getting started. Shohei Ohtani's name has already become legendary in the world of sports, but now, a comparison has emerged that takes his reputation to a whole new level. Imagine being compared to the greatest basketball player of all time, Michael Jordan, and then being told that you might actually be even more impressive. That's exactly the conversation making waves right now, and it's leaving fans across the world in awe. The Japanese baseball sensation, already an icon in Major League Baseball, is now being talked about in the same breath as the man many call the GOAT in all of sports. And the reason why is not just about his talent, but about the almost mythical way he dominates in ways few athletes in history have ever done. To really understand why Ohtani is being compared to Michael Jordan, you have to take a step back and think about what Jordan meant to basketball. In the 1990s, Jordan wasn't just an NBA player, he was a cultural phenomenon. He redefined the sport, elevated the Chicago Bulls into a global brand, and won 6 championships with unmatched competitive fire. Every time he stepped on the court, the outcome felt inevitable. Jordan was going to win, and he was going to do it in spectacular fashion. He became bigger than the game itself, drawing massive audiences not only for his talent but for his mentality, his charisma, and his ability to deliver when it mattered most. Now think about Ohtani. In a completely different sport, on an entirely different stage, Ohtani is doing something arguably even rarer than what Jordan did. Basketball has had dominant figures before and after Jordan: LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson, but baseball has never seen anyone quite like Shohei Ohtani. This is a player who is simultaneously one of the most feared hitters in the game, and one of its most dominant pitchers. He's not just good at both, he's elite at both. The last player to even come close to this was Babe Ruth, and that was over a century ago, in an era when the game was wildly different. Ohtani is doing it now, in the most competitive era baseball has ever seen, against athletes who train year-round, study advanced analytics, and throw pitches at 100 miles per hour. When you talk about being more impressive than Michael Jordan, you're not diminishing Jordan's greatness. Instead, you're acknowledging that Ohtani's achievement is unique in the modern sports landscape. Jordan dominated one side of the game. Offense and defense in basketball are interconnected, and he was a master of both, but Ohtani is literally excelling in 2 entirely separate skill sets that are so demanding most players can't even dream of doing both at the professional level. Pitching requires a completely different kind of preparation, training, and mindset than hitting. For most players, trying to master both is career suicide. You'd burn out before even making the big leagues. But Ohtani isn't just doing both, he's doing them at an MVP level. The numbers are staggering. In a single season, Ohtani can put up home run totals that rival the best power hitters in baseball, while also posting pitching stats that place him among the top arms in the league. If he only hit, he'd be a perennial all-star. If he only pitched, he'd still be one of the game's most valuable players. The fact that he does both often in the same game borders on unbelievable. And it's not just about raw stats, it's about the spectacle of it. Fans flock to stadiums hours early just to watch Ohtani take batting practice, and when he steps on the mound, every pitch feels like an event. He's become must-see television in a way that only a few athletes in history ever have. That's where the Jordan comparison comes in. In the 90s, when Jordan played, NBA games became national events because everyone wanted to see what he'd do next. It wasn't just about the final score, it was about the moments he created along the way. Ohtani has that same effect on baseball. You don't just check the box score, you watch the highlights, you see the replays, you talk about his performances the next day at work or school. When Ohtani is on the field, you know something special might happen, and more often than not, it does. But there's another layer to this cultural impact. Jordan became a global icon in large part because he transcended the sport. His style, his shoes, his competitive spirit, everything about him connected with people beyond basketball. Ohtani is doing something similar, especially for Japan and the growing global baseball audience. He's not just representing himself or the Dodgers, he's representing an entire nation and inspiring kids around the world to dream bigger. In Japan, his games are watched by millions in the early hours of the morning. Japanese media follow his every move. And here in the U.S., he's become one of the most marketable and beloved athletes, not just because of his skill but because of his humility, sportsmanship, and quiet determination. It's that humility that might make Ohtani even more impressive than Jordan to some people. Jordan was famously confident, some would say arrogant, and thrived on trash talk and mind games. Ohtani is the opposite. He lets his game speak for itself. He's polite, he's gracious, and he always deflects credit to his teammates. Yet, that doesn't mean he's not competitive. If you watch him closely, you see the fire. He hates losing, he works tirelessly to improve, and he plays through pain when others would sit out. It's a different kind of dominance, one that's rooted in quiet excellence rather than overt bravado, and it resonates deeply with fans who appreciate not just greatness, but grace. There's also the sheer physical challenge of what Ohtani does. Baseball may not require constant sprinting up and down a court like basketball, but pitching at the major league level is brutal on the body. It takes a toll on your arm, your shoulder, your back, and your stamina. Then, to turn around and also swing the bat with the power and precision needed to hit home runs against the best pitchers in the world, it's exhausting just to think about. Most players need days to recover from pitching a single game. Ohtani will pitch one night, then come right back the next day to hit, and not just hit, but perform at a superstar level. The physical and mental endurance required for that is off the charts. Jordan had to maintain peak conditioning for basketball's demands, but his focus was singular, mastering basketball. Ohtani is mastering two different sports within the same sport, and that might be why some say he's more impressive. It's not that Jordan's 6 championships, MVPs, and clutch performances aren't legendary, they are, but Ohtani's story is so rare, so almost impossible, that it feels like we're witnessing something we might never see again in our lifetimes. If there's one thing that's certain, it's that we are lucky to be witnessing Ohtani's career as it unfolds. Whether you think he's more impressive than Jordan or not, the fact that he's even in that conversation is a testament to his greatness. Years from now, when sports fans talk about the all-time legends, Ohtani's name will be right there alongside Jordan's, not just as one of the best in his sport, but as one of the greatest athletes in history. So the next time Ohtani takes the field, remember you're not just watching a baseball game. You're watching history in the making, the kind of history people will still be talking about decades